Alrighty, we should be live in a few seconds. Any seconds now. Alright, now we should be live for real. We're gonna find out. There we go. We are live officially. Whoop whoop. As usual, I'm gonna wait a little bit, gonna post about things to make sure everyone gets a notification who wants to join us for the beginning of the stream. And then we're gonna have some fun with some manga pages and just general casual fun chatting, talking, all that fun stuff that comes with live streams. Meantime, I'm trying to make sure that my settings are right. I pumped up the quality of the video for this one a little bit, so hopefully there still won't be any lags. But we will see. I haven't tried to stream in this quality on this setup and this internet before, so if there's any lagging, choppiness, something with the audio, something with the picture quality, please let me know, and I can always just reduce the quality a little bit to make sure that we're not having any issues. But I'm hoping that we won't have any problem with the quality. Okay, let me pull this up. Oh yeah, there are already people in the chat. Well, hello, hello, hello. Nub Noob Big Boy Beats Jello Yellow. Well, hello, hello. GG1954 says, yo, well, hello, nice to see you here. Spider the Lagman, look who's back from the YouTube graveyard. Yep, that's me. I am, I guess, a YouTube zombie now. I'm back from the dead. I probably should have been more prepared with this, but yep, no Wi-Fi. Nope. Nope. Wait. I hope so. I know. Okay, I think it should be back now. I'm not sure if the stream will come back on its own, or do I need to do something? I'm sorry, this is up to a fantastic start. The moment we started, my internet just was like, yeah, nope, I'm out. But hopefully, I'm getting signal now, so hopefully, this will work out. I'm just gonna refresh this and I don't know, pray at this point. Like, everything was so smooth in the test stream. And of course, the moment I tried for real, we're running into issues immediately. And now I'm not even sure if I need to like restart the stream, or will it like continue on its own or not. I wish I had an idea what I'm doing here. Okay, the chat is back. Okay, whew, yes, okay. I'm so sorry. This is just typical, like... Yep. if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Okay, let me catch up on the chat real quick. The false hero, I made it! Yay, you made it! Nice to see you here. Sashak says, hey, well, hello, nice to see you again. New Big Boy says, yay, you're back. Yay, I'm back. And hopefully there won't be any other issues with internet. Like, it shouldn't have problem. But then again, it's we have satellite internet. So literally, there's a cloud in the sky and we lose internet. So it's not gonna be easy. But hopefully. Spider the Legman says, empty bad internet, my bad. So it was you. Well, it's okay. We're gonna work with this. False Hero says, it's working fine now. Got my fingers crossed it stays this way. Yes, thank you. Everyone keeps your fingers crossed and hopefully we won't have any other issues. And we can have a good stream here. Probably won't be too long. Like, I'm trying to aim for like 2-ish hours here with the stream, but I never know. I have time blindness, so I never know how to properly plan for the stream. Sometimes they end up way longer, sometimes they end up shorter, and of course it also depends on the technicalities. Okay, I'm just gonna tweet real quick, and then I'm gonna start drawing, because I know that's why we're here, so I should get off social media. I just want to make sure that the word gets out. I'm drawing manga pages live on YouTube now. Come and join me. And we're adding a link. Yay! Okay. Notifications are out. It's time to start drawing. Or maybe I could start the stream properly. So, hello everyone, welcome to the Saigami project. My name is Sunny, and I will be drawing manga pages today. You can see some rules in front of you, pretty general, nothing too strict going on here. I have my microphone on, so we can communicate this way. I will do my best to answer questions and comments as we go. Sometimes I fall behind the chat, sometimes I can keep up with things. It really depends on what questions come up and what are we discussing, honestly. But if you have any questions regarding manga drawing, publishing, me, anything in general, just put your question below and I'm happy to answer anything, basically. We usually have really great time and really good questions in these live streams, and we can discuss a lot of topics and all that. I'm fiddling around with my microphone, trying to move it closer to my mouth so you can hear me properly. One thing is that if you're talking to another viewer, I would appreciate if you would use the @ and their username, so I know that you're talking to each other, so I won't necessarily need to read out loud the comments. That way I can stay on top of the messages here. And yeah, in general, just be kind, be nice, be respectful. And if you hear any weird noises, those are probably just our pets. Right now they are not in the same room with me. I guess the cats are here, but they are just sleeping, so you possibly won't hear any noises. But we have pugs, and if you know pugs, they are very noisy, so you might hear some of their noises. And we also have some chickens and the rooster can be very vocal, so random farm noises might happen. And yeah, that's pretty much it for rules and everything. I'm gonna put on my drawing glove and I'm gonna switch over to a page I'm gonna be drawing on. I did not prepare with proper announcements today just yet, so for now I'm just gonna be very mysterious, and I'm gonna be working on a manga page for a super secret upcoming project. Well, it's not that super, I mean, it's super secret because it wasn't like officially announced yet or anything, but you hear it here first that I am working on a very exciting manga project, and this is the page for that. I since I want to make like a proper announcement, I'm not gonna reveal much just yet. But yeah, you will see me work on these pages a lot, because there's a lot to draw here, and I'm super excited for this story. So yay, I'm gonna be working on this. As you can see, I have a sketch in front of me. I already have the proper page template for printing set up, but the paneling is still just from my storyboard. So basically, this is my storyboard. And I'm gonna divide this up properly into panels with the Clip Studio paneling tool, and then I'm gonna do some inking. And we'll see if I can finish this page during the live stream or not. I never know. Sometimes I can, sometimes I cannot. It really depends. Since this is a newer project and the characters are very new to me and I'm not used to drawing them from memory or anything, usually it takes a little bit longer to ink these characters because I have to non-stop look at reference images basically to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes or missing something with their designs, especially when there are like more complex design elements. Like you can see here, we have this gentleman in whole body armor, which is, if you ever draw body armor, you know it's tricky. So you definitely want to make sure that you have good reference images for that, because you don't want your stuff to look inconsistent. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna be working on. I erased the text from this page for this live stream because I don't want to spoil things just yet. But yeah, soon enough, I will reveal more of this, and it's gonna be very exciting. And I hope you're gonna be exciting for it just as much as I am. Okay, I'm just gonna take a quick glance at the chat before I start thinking to make sure I have everything ready to go. Gigi says more the merrier. Oh yeah, I always love to see more and more people here. Like, I know this was a pretty last minute announcement, and I know that some of my regular stream viewers couldn't make it, but I will try to do streams more frequently and make sure that we can find times that are better for more people. I know some people are more busy on the weekends, some people are more likely to catch streams during the week, so I will try to have like a good balance of weekend, weekdays, earlier, later streams. So we're gonna play it by ear as we go. Savage Beer says, Sunny, I miss you so much. I'm glad you're okay. Oh, I miss you too. I'm happy to say that I'm okay now. Been dealing with pretty bad health issues this summer basically. So a lot of things were put on hold, but now I am back and I have so much to work on, and I'm so excited to do these streams and share my works with you guys, and also share all that's to come, all the exciting stuff that's been brewing in the backgrounds and I've been working on. So this is gonna be fun. Young Baby the Artist, yo, how's it going, Sunny? Oh, hi, nice to see you here. Congrats on your debut in Summer of Manga. I still haven't read it yet, but I will. So yeah, if you wanna read some exciting new short stories, the folks who entered Summer of Manga just have their issue out, so you can read a bunch of new short stories. I am looking forward to reading that as well. Dark Nightwing XL says, hello, I have seen your Manga Plus video. Oh, hello, thank you. I hope you find that video useful or interesting. And welcome to the stream. I'm really happy to see new folks here. The channel has been that for quite a while, but now I'm back with regular videos. And what am I looking for here? I need my layers. Yeah, there we are. And I feel like that Manga Plus video was something that just happened at the right time. Like, I did not intend to make a video on it, as I didn't even know that that's gonna be news to cover. But I woke up, I saw the tweet on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god, I need to make a video of this. Because it's just everything that is going on this channel, basically. So yeah, that was probably the fastest I ever made a video. Like, literally, I read the news, I sat down, I wrote the script, and I had a video out in like a few hours afterwards. And yeah, it's really picking up. Like, obviously, Manga Plus is now the big news for anyone who wants to do manga on their own, or heck, even for just people who wants to read manga from other people. So it's been really interesting, and that is something I'm very intrigued to see how it's gonna go in the future. All right, so I'm gonna start here. First, I'm gonna shrink the sketches a little bit before I do the paneling. I have all my sketch layers here in this blue folder. I usually like to keep my sketches in blue because that's pretty much what I got used to from traditional. When I was still working traditionally on manga, I always used a blue pencil or just blue lead for mechanical pencil, because technically cyan or light blue color won't show up when you scan things in black and white. So that was like a really nifty thing to save time on erasing. And it's kind of fun to see the Clip Studio kept this blue sketch function for the digital art as well, even though it's digital, so you literally just need to press a button and things will just disappear, so you don't really need to erase. But I find it's a nice touch that reminds me of the traditional days, so I really like to keep my sketches in blue. Okay, so next up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my Create Frame tool, and I'm gonna create one big frame here within this white zone. As I said before, this is a template for a page for printing, meaning that this blue part is gonna be my gutter, the yellow part is the danger zone, and the red part, basically that won't be there on the real page because that's where they're gonna cut the page, so that won't be visible at all. That's basically just my bleed area. So everything in white is what actually is gonna be in the page, in the save zone. And this is how I usually start dividing up my pages, and then I go to the cut frame. I'm gonna divide this one up here, this one here, here, and here. And now I will adjust the panel sizes, and then I'm gonna just fiddle around a little bit with the sketches to make sure they fit the panels properly. But before I do that, I'm gonna catch up a little bit on the comments here because suddenly I see a bunch, and I don't want to fall behind too much right in the beginning. Where was I in the comments? Balthazar Chas says, hello, glad to make it here. Well, hello, nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. WCO Anime is asking, is there any Saturday and manga artist from South Africa? That's a very good question. I know we have several creators from Africa, including Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana. I'm trying to remember if we have anyone from South Africa, but I'm not 100% sure now. I think we might have had someone in Summer of Manga, maybe, or maybe that was March Madness. I really can't remember. I wish I could remember. I really don't know. I'm leaning towards we probably do, but I'm not 100%, and if we do, I'm sadly don't remembering the name. But we literally had creators from every corner of the world, so yeah. If nothing else, March Art Madness definitely had South Africans in the previous years for sure. Dark Nightwing XL says, Jump Plus rejected my manga because of its complexity. I've decided to be independent. It's the way to go. Jump Plus has some standards with other standards. I mean, Jump as its own is usually aiming for shonen, maybe some stuff with seinen. So whenever it comes to publishing to just one magazine or one platform that specializes in things, it's always on the table that certain titles will be either rejected or not do well. So yeah, sometimes if you feel like that's where you need to be, then yeah, sometimes going self-publishing and doing things on your own is the best you can do, really, because that's how you can get the ultimate freedom. Of course, everything has its ups and downs, pros and cons. Maybe different platforms, different magazines have different standards. Like, this is something you can hear when it comes to Japanese manga a lot of times as well. Like, for example, Attack on Titan. I think he brought Attack on Titan in for Shonen Jump, and it got rejected because it was just not Jump stuff, obviously. So, it happens. Rejection is something that you just have to get used to, because when it comes to creating comics, or heck, just the creative industry in general, like, you don't even have to be a comic artist. It can be about writing, you can be a musician, anything else. Rejection is just part of the journey, and usually you will get rejected more often than you will succeed. So you have to make sure that you grow a thick skin, and you just need to roll with whatever opportunities you can create for yourself. So yeah, if you feel like self-publishing is the way to go, then don't get hung up on Jump Plus finding your stuff too complex. Is just one genre they are focusing on. Usually shonen stories tend to be simplified, so if you want to focus on something that's more complex and you feel like it's more in your alley, then just go for it. Don't settle for less. Aaron Johnson says hello. No, that's a hi. That's a hi. Hello. Yeah, and Balthazar just says hello. I can read. I can totally read. Storms Beyond. Do you have a shortcut for drawing hands in any angle? Yep. The best I can recommend is look at your own hand. Like, that's literally the easiest. Because you always have your own hand with you. So whenever I have trouble drawing a hand from a certain angle or a certain pose, I keep hitting my microphone. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I just use my own hands. Like, sometimes if it's a tricky angle, I will take a picture of my hand to make sure I get the right angle. But most of the times I can just look at my own hands and try to figure out how to draw the pose. But there are also digital assets that you can use. Clip Studio has 3D models for hands, for example, that you can use. And if you have the 3D tool, you can just rotate things around however you wish. So that can be very convenient, and you basically can just trace over a 3D model. It's not cheating. It's not really different than taking a picture of your own hand and tracing over that. Tracing still has this weird stigma that it's like, oh, it's cheating, you're not supposed to be doing it, you're not a real artist, and that's absolutely bullshit. Japanese manga artists and assistants are tracing a lot of things, including backgrounds, poses, you name it. They use motion capture, they use 3D, they use photos, everything. This is just an entertainment industry where you need to make sure you're meeting your quota, you can produce things. So shortcuts, things that make your life easier, are just a necessity. So yeah, whenever you're struggling with a hand, use your own hand. If you need something else, use a digital 3D model, use a picture. You can find thousands of pictures. Like, you go up on Pinterest, Google, you name it, you can find whole collections of like hand studies, hand poses. So plenty of material to work with. References are lifesavers, and honestly a really good way to improve and study more. I used to do a bunch of hand studies where I literally just downloaded like a bunch of pictures of the internet, like hand references packs, and I used to just draw them, because as I was drawing them more, I understood more how to compose all the joints, the hands, the shape. And yeah, the more you do it, the easier it will get. And yeah, you will just like have it memorized. Basically, it will eventually become sort of like a muscle memory. But in order to get there, you need to start out with the more cheaty feeling methods. So if it's tracing, it's tracing. Tracing can be a really, really great way to learn, because as you're tracing, if you're not just like blind retracing, but you actually think through that, oh, why am I doing it like this? Where is this line going? Why am I putting this line there, this one here? If you think about it, you can learn a lot about the structure of what you're drawing. So that can be a really, really great way to learn while tracing. I'm gonna, do I want to shrink this down? Decisions. Yeah, I'm gonna shrink it down a little bit and bring it closer. Yeah, maybe something like this. So yeah, I know hands are always very tricky, but yeah, use references. They are your friends. Okay, I'm gonna make those panel borders disappear. Okay. I think I am pretty much set here. And now I just need to pick a panel to start with. I'm probably gonna start with this small panel because I like to start with the simple stuff. It's a good way to just get that motion going on. Usually I do some warm-up doodles or some light little sketches to just get me in the zone, get me going. But whenever I don't have time to do that, or I just jump into a page immediately, I usually start with like the simplest thing to draw, because it's just satisfying that, oh yeah, I just need to get this started. I have this panel done already, so I can move on to more complex stuff. Plus I like drawing silly faces, so this is the perfect panels to start with. Right, let's take a look at the next question before I go and ink here. Aaron Johnson, have you ever used thumbnail sketch for drawing? Oh yeah, absolutely. That's how I do my pages. I first do like very, very sketchy, silly the thumb sketches, and once I have that figured out, I move on to storyboards, like what you saw in the beginning of the page here. Usually my storyboards are a little bit messier. Sometimes I like to clean them up better because I can ink on top of them immediately. But my thumbs are usually super messy. Like most of the times I'm the only one who actually can like tell what's going on there. And it's purely just to figure out paneling and page layouts and well, not even angles honestly, and like shots, because it's so messy that it's hard to tell what's going on. Actually, let me see if I can pull up like a thumb page here so I can show. There are my thumbnails. I haven't worked on this PC for over a year, so some of the files are like super old here. Actually, this was. So yeah, these are some of my thumbnails. Actually, yeah, this thumbnail page right here is what I'm inking here. Hold on. Let me put them side by side so you can see it. There we go. So yeah, this was the thumbnail. As you can see, high quality artworks. And yeah, then I just refined it, figured out the angles, how I want the characters to be. And yeah, now we are turning it into a page. But yeah, thumbnails are lifesavers. So if you're working on comics, webtoons, manga, you name it, always start with thumbnails. Like, you don't want to waste too much time just planning your pages. So you don't need refined artworks, you don't need anything that takes too much time or effort. So thumbnails are perfect to just figure out the technicalities. And I personally like to break down my whole manga drawing process into smaller steps to make sure I can just focus on smaller decisions one at a time. Some people are better and faster with that. Some people have like, you know, like a better sense on like how to do paneling, and they have a better visual understanding of how things are going on. I am personally the person who tends to do more research, and like the person who's not necessarily the natural talent, but the person who got to this point by working hard and studying. So when it comes to a page layout, for me, that's usually a lot of conscious decisions, and trying to figure out what can work best. And some people can just do that kind of like an instinct. You know, both work perfectly fine. But since for me it's more of I need to sit down and figure things out sort of things, I like to break the whole process into smaller and smaller steps to make sure I'm not getting overwhelmed, or I'm not skipping on something that could be important. So I personally find it that for me, what works best if I'm just focusing on a smaller task one at a time. Thus, the thumbnail sketches or doodles for the pages are perfect for me to just focus purely on just page layout and breaking scenes up into visual elements that can be later translated as panels. So I hope that helps. Life says hi. That's a funny sentence. Do you have an idea of the start and end of your manga? Yeah. I mean, I work on several projects, so it always differs. Obviously, it's different when you're just the artist for a project. For example, for this project I'm working on here right now, I am in charge of the art. The story is already written, so I don't need to make those decisions or make that kind of planning, which is very convenient. I honestly really like to be just the artist for projects because it's way less work. But when it comes to my own stories, the beginning, yes, you need to have a beginning in order to get started. So it's kind of a dangerous trap to just get lost into, oh my god, I need to have the perfect starting for my story, and just trying to figure that out. So you need to find a starting point. So yes, that should be a priority. But also you need to have an idea of where you want the story to go. So in order to do that, you have to have at least some concept of what kind of story you're working on and where you're heading with it. Do you have to plan out everything? Nope, not really. Some people do. It's not really necessary unless it's a kind of story where you want to make sure that everything is planned out. For example, let's say you're doing like a mystery story, I would say it's more important to play your cards right there and just build up things with a building stone as well. Like, but with like some other works where you can have more freedom, I think it's more common that people just figure things out as they go. It really depends. I personally like to have the big structure points figured out for a story, so I know that like if I introduce a character or a storyline, what is my goal with that? What part will that person or that story arc play in the story? Why is this important? How will this affect things in the long run? So those are questions that you want to have an answer for. And many other things you can play by ear. It really depends. We see it with a lot of manga that creators just make things up as they go, especially when it comes to like weekly series, where whenever they start a manga, they don't even know if it will last more than like 20 chapters. So there's not much of a point in planning like huge things in advance. But once a series kicks off and they know that, oh yeah, now I can work on this for years to come, then that's the time when you can actually go more into the story mode and figure things out. Obviously, it really depends on how you're working on. So, for example, if you're just doing a story that you publish online, you don't have any restrictions, then nothing should stop you from planning things in advance, figuring out what you want to do with your story. Because in order to tell a story well, you need to know what you're doing and where your story is heading, what you want to focus on. And of course, if you want, like, like plot twists or good foreshadowing to happen, you need to know what's happening. But you don't necessarily need to figure out everything right from the get-go. Like, for example, if you look at Saigami, my manga series published with Saturday AM, now in stores in North America and the UK and in Walmart, which is still funny. I know how the story will end. I know where it is going. And there are a bunch of gaps in between, because right now I don't know how long the series will be. Because simply that's not something I can decide right now. It's not in my power. So, I know the big structure points, and the rest we're gonna figure out as we go. And we're gonna work with whatever volume numbers I will be given. So you have to have some flexibility, but also make sure that you plan ahead. Just make sure that you're not falling in a trap where you're just all plans and no execution. Because so many artists, or writers even, honestly, just fall in the trap that, like, you're just planning and rewriting, and you never start it. And that's dangerous. Where was I in the comments? Turt says, hey, first time on your stream. Oh, hello, nice to see you here. Well, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a good time. I know I am. Doing a lot of rambling. But I hope that people watching can enjoy it, maybe learn something. Just have fun in general. Balthazar Chess was saying hi to the peeps in chat, actually. Oh, okay, yeah. I never know. Like, that's obviously one of the downside of just reading comments, that you don't necessarily know what's it for. Like, especially since I tend to be way behind on comments, so sometimes I struggle, and I'm not the smartest, so there's that too. A little bit of shading here. Where am I? Where are the comments? I scrolled and I got lost. That happens way too often. Dark Knifing, what's the best way to get your manga know and to grow your Instagram? Okay, so that's like two different things. Because Instagram is its own beast. That I honestly would recommend not to necessarily rely on, because Instagram is not an artist friend. Well, social media in general can be a very, very double-edged sword. But obviously, if you want to get the word out and want to promote your stuff, you will need social media. Instagram can be a very convenient platform. I think most artists I know tend to use it, but it also can be very, very, very hit or miss. I made a video earlier this year on how to grow on social media in 2020. Funnily enough, some of the advice from that video are not necessarily accurate anymore, because Instagram just keeps changing things like crazy fast. So one of the best advice I can give there is that if you want to grow on Instagram, you have to stay on top of whatever Instagram wants from their creators. Sadly, Instagram is not a platform built primarily for artists. It's more focused on influencers, celebrities. So unless you're like super productive and can churn out artworks and videos super fast, you're probably gonna have a harder time on Instagram. Like even if you're an incredible artist, simply the algorithm just won't favor you. So you can either catch a good trend and have some good placement in the algorithm and stay on top of that consistently, or you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, Instagram is not your best friend. Not saying it's impossible. Many artists are making good numbers on Instagram, and once you take off, it can really help. But also, it's definitely not your easiest platform. Of course, earlier this year, when Instagram really started to get into Reels, that was the way to go. If you were on top of the Reel games, you could get really good placement in the algorithm and grow super fast because you were on everybody's front page. Now it seems like the Reels don't tend to do as well. I mean, they still will do way better than like picture posts, but at the same time it's getting more and more saturated. So once again, it's harder to stand out with just by doing Reels. So it's like a never-ending struggle to stay on top of Instagram. And it's kind of sad because I used to like Instagram because, you know, you could just post pictures, and I really like that because that was less effort than, say, doing a video. And now, thanks to TikTok, everybody just wants the short videos. Be it Instagram, be it YouTube with the shorts, it's all about the videos. So yeah, you just have to stay on top of these things. Now, as for how to get your manga now, you have to do your manga. I feel like just getting started is one of the biggest steps many never make. You need to get started, and you need to do it consistently, because consistency is key, and nowadays it has to be faster than ever. While in, like, say 2012, or like say 10 15 years ago, you could literally run web comics by just uploading a single page a week. That won't fly anymore, because we're just used to consuming content so fast, so much more consistently, that you cannot do what worked a while ago. So you see it with Japanese publication. The weeklies are the real big deals, and as well as, like, say, webtoons. They want the original creators, to update weekly because people just have such a huge demand for consistent content. So if you want to make it there, you have to make sure that you can do it consistently. Even if you can't do it, say, on a weekly basis, you want to be at least monthly frequent when it comes to, like, running series. Or if you're, like, releasing a full volume, you ideally would want to make it like every 6 months tops, because people won't wait longer for you than that. That kind of sucks. And yeah, apart from that, it's promoting. If you don't have anyone doing it for you, like, say, if you don't have a publisher doing promotion for you, or an agency, or anyone else, then you will have to do it for yourself. And that's never easy. You can try different platforms. You know, different things work for different people. Some people really can take off with YouTube. Some people take off with TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Some people get picked up by a platform like Webtoon and get promoted. So there's no single way to do it. But in order to get known and get noticed, creating content consistency is the #1 rule. And of course, it has to be content that people will want to read. Because you can be the most consistent, you can churn out a new chapter like every 3 days. If your work is not engaging, there just won't be interest. So yeah, there's that too. I'm gonna add some dots in the background here. Very quality backgrounds here. I just love the dot effects. Like, I'm not sure if we see that too often in like Western comics, but definitely in manga, and I kind of like it. I'm really happy with this panel. It speaks to me on a very personal level. It's my mood all the time. Okay, I am gonna save real quick. Read the next question and move on to the next panel. Which one should I do? I might jump over to this big one here. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep the panel in a smaller size, but I will want Mr. Armor here to break through the panel borders as if he was stepping forward, so he's gonna be in front of the panel. So in order to do that, I am going to create a layer folder outside of the panel here. And I'm gonna lower the opacity of this border so it's not in the way. And this is where I'm gonna be drawing. But first I'm gonna look at the questions so I can move on. Savage Bear says, I will be trying to get back into making videos soon and working on some other stuff. Hopefully I can talk to you about it more soon when you're available. Oh, yeah. You know where to find me, so I mean, I'm terrible with keeping up with my messages, but you still know where to find me and we can chat. And I'm looking forward to seeing more content from you. That's a username. I'm probably gonna butcher this. I'm sorry in advance. Calculusinator Vigdu. Is there a designated Saturday AM letterer? We work with letterers for our volumes. I'm not involved with the process, so I don't know right now if we have anyone set hired on, or it's more like we're contracting letterers to do the lettering for our comics. That's as much as I know. We're probably looking for letterers because it would be easier to have the pages lettered for the magazine as well, so when it comes to the actual volumes they will be ready already. But yeah, I don't know if we have like a designated letterer. I'm not involved with these things really anymore, so yeah, that's all I know. The Dream says hi. Well, hello. Yay was here, says yo sick. Thanks. I try. Spider the Legman. Man, I'm sure glad you're not paying a subscription for an art service. I feel like I'm missing context here. Like, what art service? I might have just a brain fart right now, but I'm not sure if that was referring to something. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know what's going on. The Dream, you was an art school student. Nope. I never got into art school, actually. I tried to get into an art high school, and they said that I'm just not talented enough, and they are not looking to start a Pokemon course, quote unquote. That's literally what they told me, because my portfolio had some anime drawing and all they knew that, oh, anime, that's Pokemon. We're not looking for Pokemon artists here. Ha ha ha, they were so funny. Yeah. A room full of adults making fun of a 14-year-old. And they were having a blast. So yeah. That's it. So I never went to art school. Everything I know is self-taught. Pretty much learned everything from books, the internet, other artists. Anywhere I can learn, I'm trying to pick up what will benefit me. So yeah. So you don't necessarily need to go to art school. It's definitely a topic I would like to make a video on. I'm gonna mirror this and start thinking in mirror mode, because oh boy, there are things going on with this face that I will need to fix while inking. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to go to art school in order to become a full-time artist or have art as your career. There are benefits, yep, of course. Primarily connections when it comes to art school, because you can get introduced to people, companies, connections that could make the difference in the long run. So that is definitely one of the biggest advantages of getting into an art school. But on the downside, even if you make those connections, even if you're in that art school, it's not a guarantee that you can land, say, an internship or a job later on with said company or said person. So it's not a guarantee, and it's pretty expensive. So many go to art school, get in huge debts, and never really end up landing a job with art. So that can be kind of dangerous. And yeah, sometimes people just don't necessarily get the thing they expect from art school. One of my best friends from elementary, she also failed the art school entrance exam with me the first time, but she went back a year later and she made it. And by the time we graduated high school, she was just like, screw this, I'm burned out. I don't want to do art anymore. I learned how to do this, I learned how to draw that, and I realized that this is not really what I wanted. So that was like super sad, that even though art school was her dream and she thought this was what she wanted to do, she just received an education that was not the nurturing kind or the inspiring kind. And I feel like that tends to happen, and you're kind of at the whim of who end up being your mentor or who ends up teaching you. So yeah, art school isn't always worth it. I mean, I'm being a little bit messy with this hair here, but I can just polish up things later on. I'm working with vector layers, so even overlapping lines won't be an issue. Chipjaw says, hi Miss Sunny. Well, hello, nice to see you here. Golden says, which manga are you drawing right now? This is a new project. I have not revealed the title yet. I will soon, but I want to make it like a proper reveal. And I have some more stuff to show, because I want to do it, well, a little bit more ceremoniously, because I'm very excited for this project. So soon enough, we will have an announcement for this. And you definitely will see me work on this project a lot going forward. So I will try to do my best to announce it soon, because admittedly it will be easier. I wanted to be a little bit extra about it. So for now, it's just mystery project. And I guess I can tell that it's also a fantasy isekai. And I am the artist for this project. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say here. I should have made a plan. Yeah, I never plan ahead. But soon, you will know soon. I promise I won't keep it a secret for too long. Spider Legman. I think Clip Studio is going to start doing monthly payments. That was the joke. I had to explain the joke. Now it's not funny. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. sometimes I just am slow and I don't get things. I mean, now this is once again something that I definitely want to make a video on, even though it's not gonna be fresh because the Clip Studio announcement happened like what, a week now ago, and recently they just made a follow-up which was like kind of just oil on the fire. But at the same time, I personally, and this is my own personal view, you don't have to agree with me, people are overreacting over the whole Clip Studio deal, in my opinion. I mean, we received Clip Studio updates for free with a one-time purchase for like what, 12 years now, which is a pretty dang good deal, because I'm not sure how old you guys are or how long you've been using drawing softwares and all, but before Clip Studio was even a thing, they were called Manga Studio by Smith Micro. And if you want, what did I press? Why am I on white ink? I don't want white ink there. Let's go back. So if you wanted the newer version of the software, you had to buy it. For example, I used to have Manga Studio 3, and then if I wanted to switch up to Manga Studio 4, I simply had to buy the new CD in order to install the new software. Same for Photoshop in the old days, or any software really. Like, that's how it used to be. If you wanted the newer version of a software, you had to buy the new version. So I kind of feel like people became complacent with the free updates, and honestly I feel like that it's been incredible that we got all this content, all these upgrades and features with the one-time purchase all this time with Clip Studio, especially since if you can buy the one-time version during a sale, like you can literally get like a kick-ass software for like $25 with the pro version, and even that is like plenty enough for making comics. But even then, the EX version is still cheaper than like buying a Photoshop or an Adobe Illustrator or anything like that. The fact that now they are like, well, we're gonna roll out a newer version, so if you want that, you will need to buy an upgrade pass. I'm honestly okay with that. I mean, they are not twisting your arms. You're not forced to buy the new version. You still get to keep your current version of Clip Studio. You still will be able to use all the functions you have. So you're literally not losing anything. And if there's a new function you want, then yeah, you might need to invest in it. But like, for example, what if it's a feature that you're not even interested in? Then you simply don't have to buy the upgrade pass. You still get your same software. You still can do the same things as before. So yeah, of course, once like version 3 rolls out, which we don't know even when it will be, honestly, I don't expecting it happening in like less than 10 years, because that doesn't seem realistic. So until then, you can literally use what you have with your one-time purchase. You're not forced to pay anything extra unless you want the extra bells and whistles. And we don't know right now how much will be the upgrade pass. The only information we know is that it's going to be less than a monthly subscription, which is honestly not that high of a cost. I have the perpetual license on my PC, but I also paid the subscription for my tablet in order to be able to use Clip Studio on the go. I even have the license for the mobile version because it's just convenient for me. And you know, now I don't want to sound like, oh, I can afford it, it's not a problem for me. But I feel like this is a service that is a good investment for me, and I'm willing to pay that monthly fee if it comes with a subscription. And the fact that people are immediately losing their mind that, oh my god, it's going to turn into a subscription. Not yet. It wasn't announced. It might. Sure, yes, it might turn into that in the future. But right now, it's not like that. So you still, probably for the next several years, you still will be able to use your current Clip Studio as is without having to spend a single dollar further. So yeah, that's my 2 cents there that people are simply overreacting. And I personally think that if this is how we can get like more premium upgrades for Clip Studio, I'm happy to buy that upgrade pass. Like I would happily get an upgrade pass for like a better lettering tool, which I think Clip Studio desperately needs because it definitely isn't as good as say Photoshop's or Adobe's lettering tools. Same goes for features for like photo bashing, which isn't necessarily something you need for comics, but like for other design works or concept art, that would be a huge step. So that could be something that could be really worth the investment. And I might be the minority here, but I don't feel like what Clip Studio is doing here is wrong. Sure, one of their biggest selling point was that you only need to buy the license once, and that was like super convenient and very user friendly. But at the same time, I come from an era where you had to buy the new things if you wanted the new things. So it wasn't too surprising for me. I honestly feel like it was more surprising that they didn't change their model for the past 10 years and you could literally get all those crazy new features. Like they literally bundled Photoshop's best parts into Clip Studio and more and more and more, and animation and everything into that single purchase thing. Like I think that was just insane. So yeah, that's my take on this. I'm sorry I didn't get the joke. Okay, let's see the next question. Golden, what's the estimated number of volumes do you envision Saigami to have? Okay, so there's the thing that I envision and there's the thing that the publisher envisions. So when I was pitching Saigami for volume release, ooh, that was a janky line. I envisioned the length to be somewhere between 10 to 12 volumes tops. I felt like that's a good length to tell the story that I have in mind. And then I was told that, okay, can you tell the story in 6? I guess. I mean, it's possible. Things that I would like to have might not make it in there then, but it's possible. And yeah, that's where we are right now. I'm not sure how much can I reveal, but let's just say that when you're publishing something for the first try, publishers won't have faith in you. Like unless you have like crazy good numbers proving that yeah, there's a demand for that, what you're doing and all that, you're not really gonna have their trust. This is nothing new, of course. I have my fair share of experience of talking to publishers, being involved with them, and that's just how it is. You're not gonna have a contract for like 30 volumes right off the bat unless you already proved yourself or have something to put on the table. So you always have to be prepared that you will be told that, hey, actually your sales aren't as good, so we need to cut down your volume number. So whenever things are going south, you have to be prepared that, oh, I originally had 12 volumes in mind, that got reduced to 6, but there's a chance that I might need to wrap this up in 3 volumes. And that's just how it is. We see it with Japanese manga more often than not, especially with new series that just get canned like 19 chapters. And sure, the manga artist probably had a vision for way longer, but it just didn't happen. So yeah. The fact of what you have envisioned doesn't really matter until you can succeed, actually. If it takes off and you have good results, good sales, then of course go for it. You can even extend it probably, because it's capitalism. They will want to milk that cow. But for that, first you have to sell. So yeah, I still have the vision for Saigami with like 10 to 12 volumes. That would be ideal for the story of what I have in mind. And we're gonna see how things go. it really only depends on the sales. If it does well, there are probably gonna be more volumes. If it doesn't go well, there's probably gonna be less volumes. That's just sadly how it is. I'm gonna take a drink. I'm talking a lot. I hope you're not getting bored of me just talking. Don't forget to hydrate. Everyone drink with me. Whatever you have to drink. Let's see, next comment. Where am I? The Ink Slicer. Oh, I love to see the familiar names. It's so good to see you guys again. Hello Sunny, great to catch one of your streams after a while. I happened to see Saigami at the store the other day and thought, man, Saturday M has come a long way. Yep, it sure has. Yeah, it's still kinda surreal to like just waltz into Walmart and see our books there. Just like it's Walmart. Let's be real. Like that shouldn't be like a marking of like high standards or anything. But still, it's like, damn, my book is in Walmart. Like how cool is that? It's I always have a fun feeling of duality with that. Like I shouldn't get excited about Walmart, but at the same time, hey, my book is in Walmart. It's a silly little thing. But yeah, but also like seeing the books on bookshelves, like especially like obviously I did not plan with that whenever I was coming up with Saigami's title. Like I was 15, I was not thinking that, but like because of like the alphabetic order, and most of the times when I see Saigami in a bookstore, it sits next to Sailor Moon volumes. And there's just like, oh my god, that's my book next to Sailor Moon. That's cool. So that's a fun feeling. Very humbling, but at the same time, it's like, yay, I made that. So yeah, we definitely came a long way. And we'll see where the road takes. Of course, getting in the stores is just one step. Those books need to sell. So if you haven't yet and you would like to support me, you can get Saigami in bookstores, online, digitally as a Kindle version, basically anywhere where you can get books. You can go to your local bookstore, your local Walmart, and support my works by getting Saigami Volume 1. We will have news about Volume 2 eventually. I don't know when yet. I mean, obviously it's already in progress. I'm really happy how the cover artwork turned out for Saigami Volume 2. Like I think you guys will like it too. So I'm super excited for that. And yeah, we'll see the rest. Please buy my book. Thank you. Let's see, next comment. Savage Bearer says, I remember when I wanted to go to an art school and this guy said that they weren't looking for anything manga style, only for me to hear from him that he was really into My Little Pony. That gotta hurt. Yeah. Like I honestly kind of wonder if things have changed a little bit now that like anime and manga are becoming more mainstream. But there was always, and I honestly think it's always gonna have this kind of stigma that, oh, it's not really art, it's not fine art. Some people will think that, this is not really art school worthy and all that stuff. So there's always that. And it can be very disappointing, I guess, if you get into an art school and you end up with a teacher or teachers who think that what you're doing is just juvenile and has no value. So that can be very disappointing. At the same time, I'm kind of having hope that eventually a generation of teachers will come who were exposed to this at a younger age. They will feel differently about it. Like we already see it with like say celebrities, how nowadays we have like, you know, actors, athletes, musicians who grew up with anime, and it's mainstream now. So it is very interesting to see how that could change things in the future, that now it's not just some nerdy niche necessarily, but it's totally mainstream, and there are people with like status who are like, yeah, I'm into anime and manga. So yeah, that's always interesting to see how these things change over the years. I'm gonna save and continue inking that arm. Later I will have to refine more of the armor details. Right now I'm mostly focusing on the outlines first, and then I will go back with some extra shading, adding some texture to try to capture that metallic feeling for the armor, even before the screen tones. Because obviously, like, once screen tones are there, I can add even more shading and lighting, and that will help a lot. But when it comes to just inking, yeah, there's a lot to do here. Drawing armor is hard. Calculus Inator Vig do you own all the rights to Saigami? Yup. I owe the IP for Saigami. And the publishing rights are currently with Saturday AM and Corto. Along with like marketing stuff. But yeah, when it comes to say the IP, yeah, I am the right owner for Saigami. So I did not sell the rights. Not yet. Spider Legman, when is Saigami Shippuden? Not anytime soon. First I would need to wrap up just Saigami to have a Shippuden, so that's not happening anytime soon. But we'll see how the future looks for Saigami. We're gonna find out sooner or later. In the meantime, I also have some other stuff to work on, so, you know. One thing I always say, people who are freelancing or want to freelance or just heck succeed in general, you have to have multiple irons in the fire. So, you know, just because some things happen or you succeed with one thing, you don't want to go complacent, because that's very easy way to flop. So yeah, I'm trying to make the most out of things here, and I honestly enjoy working on a variety of projects as well. Calculus Inator Vigdu says Shonen Jump kills things off almost instantly if they don't sell, which is brutal but good for business. Yeah, like Shonen Jump's model is like crazy. I'm like, honestly, I'm always just so disappointed that there were series that had so much potential. Or, you know, maybe I'm biased because those are series that I really like, but I honestly think that they had potential, and they just get axed very early on, never really given a chance. Well, nowadays it's like Jump's quality is not that great anymore. Like, I'm honestly not even reading anything anymore in Jump, because I'm just like, I don't care about any of these titles. that's like kind of sad. Like there are still things that I catch up on because I'm like still curious. But honestly, right now the only series that I do care still about a little bit is Blue Box. And you know, sure, I still read My Hero Academia, but that's a hot mess, especially lately. Um, but like just to think that like there are series that are now succeeding in Jump and getting like anime adaptations, while there were series that had so much more potential and were so much better, and they were just axed early. So yeah, really don't like that. Like I'm still salty about Siren never getting an anime, and now literally everything gets an anime. Siren never got the chance. It would have been so good. It would have been so good. And I don't think I will ever get over that. Nope. I'm just gonna be forever salty about Siren. And Double Arts. I don't know if anyone here ever read Double Arts. That was good stuff. I really like that story. Like sure the art the art was kinda here and there, and I always wondered if there was some, you know, copyright issues maybe, because some of the characters kind of look like Kingdom Hearts characters. So not sure what happened there, but still, like that's a story that just I really enjoyed, and I really wish it wasn't taxed. Of course, you know, later on the manga artist created Nisekoi, and that became like a huge hit, and I really did enjoy Nisekoi. So there's that, but never forget Double Arts. And yeah, as much as like, you know, how good it is for business, I don't know. Like, obviously, you know, Jump is the biggest selling magazine in Japan, so surely they know their thing. But I kind of wonder if like they would perform just as well if they let the series have more time. Guess we'll never know. I definitely don't agree with it. Chloe Clark. Oh, I can't talk. Sorry. Chloe Clark. I'm excited for mine to come from the Kickstarter, but we'll definitely have to buy Volume 2 when it's out. Oh yeah. I wish I had any news on the Kickstarter. I know that the books will be sent out for that. So you definitely will get your copy. Not sure when that happens. I wish I could tell you something. Not involved with that either. I mean, with the whole distribution process and all. But hopefully soon you will get your volume of Saigami and you will enjoy it. And yeah, if you pick up volume 2, I will be really grateful for that when it comes out, of course. Which I cannot say officially when yet, but it's coming. I kind of wish it was coming sooner, but you know, I'm not making decisions. But yeah, eventually it will come. Calculus says my goal is the Q-Bird School. I am not familiar with that. Is it like an art school, art institute, or something? Okay, I'm obviously, since I'm not from the US, I'm not really familiar with like big name schools. Like I know there's SCAD, that is like the big thing I always heard about. But I bet there are a bunch of good art schools. I'm trying to figure this out. I kind of messed up here. Yep. I messed up here. Yeah, let's just do it like that. I probably should have drawn the fingers first and then add like the details for the armor. And I figured, yeah, I'm just gonna wing this. And now it looks kind of wonky, so I definitely will have to clean this up a little bit more. One of my toxic traits is that sometimes I just wing inking and I need to go back a lot of cleaning, but it's kind of fun. Like this is something I really enjoy about digital art, that no pressure. I can just wing things and see how it turns out. Sometimes it's not the smartest because it's definitely not the fastest, so oftentimes if I were to spend some more time just refining my sketches, I probably could ink faster. I don't know, I just enjoy the process. Also, you probably can hear some water in the background. I'm sorry about that. That's my wife. We don't have any clean pots. That's a disaster. And yes, in case you were asking, I'm live streaming in the kitchen. Well, technically the living room, but like, it's all one area, so sorry about the noises. That's one big pot.
It's a dirty pot.
Whose fault is that?
Who used this pot last?
You?
Did I?
Yeah. Lesson of the day: get more pots than what you think you will need. Wow, I'm being threatened. Savage Beer Art is asking, are you excited for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in November, Sunny? Oh my god, yes. So much. So much. If you don't know, I am a huge fan of Pokemon. I love the games. I never finish them. Ever. Never ever. I don't think I finished a single Pokemon game ever since Yellow, but I love them. I always get them and I'm super excited. I just love me a good Pokemon game. And I'm really looking forward to like the whole open world setting. Like I really enjoyed Legends Arceus. Never know how to pronounce it. But yeah, that's a good game. I'm still playing that. Like heck, I was just playing it last night too, so yeah. Maybe I will finish it. Who knows? I don't think I will, but like I can try. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm probably gonna pick Violet. Like my wife and I are gonna both pick a version, so we will have both Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Violet. I kind of like the futuristic version of the legendaries a little bit better, but chances are that I will also try Scarlet as well. If we're getting the physical copies, I don't know. But yeah, very excited. Really looking forward to some new Pokemon. Spider the Legman, who's your favorite Kingdom Hearts character? If it's not Roxas, you're wrong. You're right, it's Roxas. He's best boy. That's it. I don't make the rules. I love Roxas. I also love Aqua. So yeah, that's where my allegiance is. Roxas and Aqua. They are the best. Okay, let's see how we're looking here. Yeah, the finger still doesn't feel right, so I'm gonna go back and adjust that a little bit. Just a little chunky finger. I mean, It's a finger in armor, so it should be chunky, right? Like, I'm just gonna play around a little bit with the angles here and just indicating things a little bit. All right. Sunny D says, Sunny, my darling. Oh my God, Sunny, you're here. Well, hello. It's a good thing I told you an hour ago that I'm gonna be streaming. So now you're finally here. You made it. Yay. Savage Beer says, I just realized we'd be able to adventures together in that game too, so I look forward to doing that with you. Oh my God, you're right. We still don't really know how the whole multiplayer will work, but oh my God, if we can do that, that would be amazing. Like, I would really, really love that. We can just ride into the sunset with our silly lizards. Like, honestly, that's so freaking stupid. Like as much as I'm excited for this game, everything about it feels so stupid. Like, the whole, like, the crystallization things, the not terraforming, but something like that. Terrestrial? No. Oh, I don't know what it's called. But who came up with that idea? Like how is it possible that there was a room full of professional adults and someone was like, we're gonna put crystal chandelier hat on Pokemon, and people were just like, yes, that's the future of Pokemon. Everyone gets a crystal chandelier on their head, and that's like the stupidest gimmick I ever seen in Pokemon. Like, the effects, sure, yes, I am very intrigued by the fact that it will, you know, like, give you a different stab, or you know, other bonuses or different abilities or typing. That's cool, that's interesting, but why does it have to come with a stupid crystal hat? Like, that's so stupid. So not really crazy about that, but you know, we'll see. Like, if it's something that you don't need to use too often, I probably won't use it too often. It's just so stupid looking. But we'll see. Still, it's Pokemon, so they have me for good. I will still spend my money on Pokemon, and probably so will you. So yeah, they got us for good. I'm gonna thicken these lines here a little bit because the arm here is in the foreground. Spider says Aqua is acceptable. We love Aqua. She's great. She's good. I love her. I even cosplayed her before a couple times. It was fun times. Sunny says, well, I got distracted by gods and I will not specify. I see how it goes. Just blame the gods. That's how it goes. Okay, almost done inking Mr. Armor here. Let's go back to his face. Which is kind of funny because usually I start with the face when it comes to inking, like, especially eyes. Like, if you see my drawing videos or live streams, most of the times I always start with the eyes, and here I just did not. Not sure why. Spider says, Crystal, was Gigantamax not enough? I'm like, seriously, it's so stupid. Like, Gigantamax was like a stupid gimmick as well, but you know, at least it gave us new forms, so that was kind of fun. Like, some of the Gigantamax forms, like, legit looked good, but this just stupid. Like, I don't want a crystal balloon on my Pikachu's head. Like, how stupid is that? Who came up with this? Like, it's just And like one thing is a chandelier, other thing is a fountain. It's just stupid. Like they could like if they really wanted to go with like the crystal forms, just make the Pokemon look like crystals. Like that was already foreshadowed in the anime with the crystal onyx. So why couldn't they just be like, yeah, now your Pokemon will look like its body is crystal? Sure, still wonky, but like still better than having a hat. This is so stupid. So stupid. I just really don't understand. Like, to begin with, I'm not really a fan of like all of the gimmicks in Pokemon. I I don't think the games really need those. Like, sure, when Mega Evolution became a thing, like I feel like that was the first new gimmicky thing in the games. Then that was like interesting because we got the new forms and like, oh, how will this change like PvP and like what will this bring? But then each new game had like a stupid new gimmick like Z-move, the Gigantamax and all that, and it's just like, why? This is not what we want. Like whoever was like, what I wish my next Pokemon game had? Crystal hats. Like, no one ever. This is stupid. Like, just give us the whole Pokédex, for example, or give us more regions to explore, and not these cheap as gimmicks that no one really cares about. They're so stupid. I just really don't. Nintendo, hire me. We can fix this. I promise you, we can make this better. But still, I'm still excited for the game. It's just so many stupid things. Maybe I'm just getting old, I don't know. But the people who are making these games are probably older than me, so there's that too. I don't know. It's weird. Savage Beer says, I agree with that. It's quite silly, but I'm looking forward to the new Pokemon and the open world stuff in the game. I wanna be like, yeah, your Pokemon has some style now. Yeah, like, the other features, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, open world, hell yeah, sign me up. The fact that there apparently won't be an order for the gyms, and you can just, like, go however you want to do, yes, that's the stuff I want. Like, give me more of that and not the stupid cheap gimmicks. And like, yeah, like maybe even like more of the multiplayer function, like that would be fun. So we'll see. I'm excited for the game. Honestly, not having too high expectations, so I'd rather be pleasantly surprised. But at least if it's at least as good as like Arceus was, Legends Arceus, I will be happy with it because I really enjoyed that game, and honestly, I feel like that was one of the best Pokemon games we had in a while. But I also really like Sword and Shield too, which I know many people did not, but I really enjoy it. So not because of the gimmicky stuff, but just bringing in the wide area and all that. I really like that. So I'm still gonna buy the Pokemon games. I'm still excited about it. But I just cannot get over this stupid crystal thing. Alright. That's one character inked. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this disappear. Make my sketch disappear. And also make this panel disappear. And nope. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my inks and make sure that there are no gaps here. Okay, we're good there. Maybe here at the beard and the hair. Yeah, my inking usually has some gaps here and there. It's something I'm trying to be better about. But yeah, this is one of my bad habits. There we go. Okay, now we should be good. So now Okay, now it should be good. I'm gonna make the wallpaper disappear. And I'm gonna invert my selection. And create a new layer underneath my line art here. And fill it up with white. Oops. Not you here. Okay, now we're good. There we go. And now everything can come back. And ta-da! Now he is in front of the... Oops, that was my mic. I'm sorry. And now he's in front of the panel. Cool little effect. This is something I really like when it comes to using like panel breaks and all that stuff. That you can use like easy little techniques like this to give a little bit more depth to your comic. So this is something I really like to use. And I'm happy how this is turning out so far. Even though I will definitely have to do some more refining. But for right now, I'm just focusing on getting done as much of the inking, or at least the first base layer of inking as I can. Alright, so now that I have him here, I'm gonna go back to the panel. And I am going to ink our main character here. Because I love silly faces. Colin, what are your opinions on the girls in Apple Black like Lily and Neon, etc.? I wish the girls had some more screen times. Obviously, I might be biased there. I'm looking forward to see what their character arcs will be and like how their whole character improvement or character development will go. I know that there are already things changed compared to like the first versions of Apple Black, so I was actually like happy to see that the girls are starting to get more three-dimensional and not necessarily just like, you know, cliches, which I think is very common in like early attempts at shonen manga, that your female characters are just very, very two-dimensional, and you know, oftentimes they are just falling into stereotypes. So I was happy to see that being changed, and also Opal being added as a character. Her design is just incredible, and I really like her. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's in store for their characters. Sadly, it's kind of rare to see good female characters in shonen manga. Oh, I have a cat at my feet. It's surprisingly fluffy. Oh my god, I finally caught up with the comments. I can't believe. Oh, that smells good. Meantime, my wife is just casually prepping like a 3-course meal.
Air frying does not count as meal prep.
It does for me. Air fryers are wonderful. We stand them. So how is everyone's day going so far? I'm so terrible at small talk. But like, you know, it's a Sunday. What's everybody been up to? Are you guys working on your stuff? Are people back in school? Yeah, our school, like school should be back in session for most places, I think. So everybody just share something with me. Let's have some small talk, or let's ask questions. I really should prepare with some more topics. Though I feel like today my brain is kinda in a tight spot. Earlier today we went to the farmer's market, which is lovely. I love the farmer's market. It's super close to our house. It's lovely. They have a bunch of goats and all sorts of cool products, and I just love it. And we got some cherry tomatoes, which I love a lot. And of course we also got like a bunch of like, you know, like bakery products, mushrooms, all the goodies stuff you can get at the farmer's market. And then we started driving home, and then there was this noise, and for a moment I thought that we ran over something, because there was this boom, boom, boom kind of sound, and I was like, oh my god, did we just run over something? And I really don't want us to like be the culprits behind the roadkill or something. And that's when I realized that that wasn't a roadkill, that wasn't us driving over something. I put the cherry tomatoes on top of the car, and then we drove away. So those were my freaking tomatoes, just like scattered everywhere, roaming free on the road, the forest, everywhere. Tomatoes everywhere. And I am in such deep regret ever since. I just, this is one of those days when maybe I just should have stayed in bed. Like, today I'm just like not compatible with life. No matter how hard I try, it's just F in chat for my sad little tomatoes. I just hope that the birds or squirrels or whatever nearby are happy with them. So yeah, that's how my day is going so far. Hope you're having a better day than me and my tomatoes. Spider, Kingdom Hearts 4, your thoughts? Was it announced yet? Wait, hold on, Kingdom Hearts 4. That wasn't announced yet, right? Or am I missing something? I haven't played 3. I watched a complete like playthrough of 3 because I don't have the right console to play Kingdom Hearts 3. But I also didn't want to get spoiled, so I figured, well, I'm just gonna watch a full playthrough. I liked a lot of things in the story. Like, some parts made me very emotional. And then the ending was like, the hell is going on? So yeah, with 4... Oh yeah, now I remember, the 4 will... Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, now it's coming back to me. Yes, 4 was announced. And it will be that, like, basically what they wanted for Final 14, maybe? I can't remember. That's gonna look interesting. Like, I'm not sure about the story anymore, because I feel like everything got pretty well wrapped up in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, basically the characters I really cared about, their stories got wrapped up. So I'm not sure what's the plan there, or how will they continue from here. So that's gonna be interesting to see. But also I feel like I'm a little bit less invested in Kingdom Hearts since I don't really have the access for the games anymore. I know they released like the cloud version for the Switch, but at the same time you need like proper internet for that, and that is something we don't have. So even if I wanted to play the cloud version, it probably wouldn't work for me. So that's kind of sad. So yeah, that's where I am right now with Kingdom Hearts. So it's more likely that if the new game comes out, I probably will just watch another playthrough video. So yeah. The music still slaps though. I really like it. But yeah, I'm not sure like if it will only like focus on like Sora, Riku, and all that. Like I kind of cared more about the sub characters like Roxas, Aqua, Ventus, those storylines. I really was invested in that. So I'm not sure what Kingdom Hearts 4 will bring with that. So we're gonna see. Like, who knows? Maybe I will get excited for it. But right now I feel like it's just, for me, it kind of wrapped up. So not sure what 4 can offer at this point that would get me hooked on. Definitely not as much to buy a console for it. Golden is asking, can you share what arc is next after the initiation exam in Saigami? Okay, so that is kind of a tricky question because, as I mentioned before, currently I don't know how long the story of Saigami can be. So I basically have like 3 different plans. Plan 1 is everything goes well, Saigami performs well, and I can plan for a longer story. Plan B is like things probably are not gonna go well, so let's plan for a shorter story. And plan C is, oh my god, it's a disaster, we need to wrap this up ASAP. So worst case scenario, after the initiation exam, we're gonna skip a bunch of arcs I planned and literally move over to the main plot line. The middle ground scenario is that we can explore some arcs before we move over to the main big wrapping things up plot line. And the best case scenario is what I originally had planned, and we're moving on to an arc that I planned for a long while, introducing a new main character. And yeah, I'm really hoping that will happen, because I really want to introduce that character. But right now I'm not sure if that will happen or not, so that's kind of sad. Because worst case, I might need to completely like cut out characters in complete arcs, which it is what it is. Did not turn out too well. Like, there are some story arcs where I'm like, yeah, this isn't necessarily my best, I don't necessarily need this, so some things I can remove easier. But there are things that I'm like was really looking forward to do, or I think would have been like some of the best parts of the story. So I really will have to like vet of like, okay, what can I still keep in, what can serve the story, the characters, where to put the focus. So right now it's like a lot of like just trying to come up with different plans and maybe figure out if like how can I make the most out of the worst situation even. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So what will be the next start of Saigami? It's up to the sales. It's sadly not really up to me at this point, because that's what happens when you don't have control over things. Like, I might own the IP, but I sure as hell don't have control over it. So plus, sometimes things are told that, yeah, you have to do this even if I don't agree. So that's a bummer. And there are things still up in the air where I feel like it's not a good addition to the story, but I still have to roll with it. So yeah, I'm honestly not sure which version to tell you here. I'm hoping that I can do the best for the story, and we'll see. This might have been a disappointing answer. I'm sorry about that, but this is just the reality that you can plan, you can do your best, it might not happen, or might not happen as you want it to happen. So we'll see. I still will do my best. And hopefully it will be something that can be enjoyed. But we're gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna move over to this panel here. I'm gonna save. Savage Bear says, my day is good. It's getting stormy over here. I was supposed to start school in August, but I missed my deadline, so I go back in the middle of October. But lots I could talk about, but I believe I turn into a ramble. Well, at least you have some free time until October to work on maybe your comics or whatever you have that you want to work on. So, you know, whenever you end up with more time, use it wisely. But at least it's nice that your day is going well. It's always happy to hear that. Spider says, now they show the teaser for it. Already knew about the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC where you fight Yozora at the end. I never checked out the DLC. Like, I know that Yozora was a thing in the Toy Story world, I think, maybe. But I never checked out the DLC actually. So yeah. I kind of dropped the ball there. Balthazar Chess says, I'll be off for now, gotta sleep. Thanks for the stream, Sunny. Looking forward to see more in the near future. Nice to meet you all. Good night. Well, good night, and thank you for joining the stream. You're probably not even here anymore, but still, thank you for coming. And definitely will do more streams, so stay tuned. Golden, are you still working on Killshot? Killshot is currently on an indefinite hiatus. Definitely want to work more on it. There were just things that I can't really talk about just yet. But how to phrase this? I still will continue to work on Killshot, but it won't be part of Saturday AM. That's a long story short. So yeah, not sure when, where, and what format Killshot will return. Obviously, right now I have this project to focus on, as well as you know, still wrapping up production on Saigami Volume 2, as well as I started a webtoon series with my wife, so there's that also going on. So that's 3 projects I'm already involved with, plus some smaller freelancing gigs where here and there in the past. But right now, for the next couple months, for sure, at least, this project will be my main focus, plus obviously some additional content for Saigami Volume 2, just like how we released some extra content in Volume 1, so that's gonna take up most of my time. So until then, Killshot is just waiting around, and once I have a little bit more time freed up and I figure out where and which way I want to go with Killshot, I definitely want to go back to it. Probably give it a reboot. I know there wasn't that much released of it just yet. So it's not going to be much of a reboot because we were still in like literally the first story arc, with like the installments released in Saturday Branch. But yeah, there's that. So Killshot is not dead. It's gonna return. It just won't be with Saturday AM. And that's it. Maybe one day I will tell the whole story. Wait a minute. Hello. Can I help you? I have a very upset pug next to me. Hiroto Art says hi. Well, hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm probably gonna need a smaller brush size here, so I'm gonna go lower and zoom in a little bit more. Hey, Matt. Hello. What kind of studio is this? He really wants to be on my lap, but that's not good for drawing.
Might be getting a call, babe.
Oh, are you? Mm. I need to fix up the face here a little bit. I was going for this lower angle here, and that's always kind of a trickier one to do. Once again, something that's really good to have references for. So I'm just gonna try and wing it as I ink, because I definitely will need to fix certain things up here. Oh, that's too much. This is something I really, really don't like in Clip Studio. That whenever you zoom in, you can go up to 200, but then after that, the next step is 400. And I'm like, I don't want 400. I just want, like, can't we just have like a 300 or a 250? Like, I just want to zoom in just a tiny bit more, not like double. And that's always one of my struggles. Especially since I'm not really used to zooming in like this anymore. I've been using my Android tablet for drawing for over the past year. And since that has like the touch features, I could just like pinch and zoom whenever I wanted to zoom. And you know, that gives me kind of a more accurate zooming experience. At least that's what it feels like. But now I'm back on my PC and my drawing monitor, and it definitely feels different. One thing that you don't see me tap the screen so many times. So many times. Because I'm used to the touch function and I don't have it anymore. Or at least not on this device. But like, yeah, with the zooming, it feels like I just want like a little bit more subtle zooming here and there. Hero to arc, why you use 600 DPI? Because you're supposed to do at least 600 DPI when you want really good results for printing, and this work is aimed for printing. Of course, you can work in 300 DPI, but it's always better to work in a higher resolution when you're aiming for print. Even when you like resize this or fiddle around with things, you will have a much crisper quality when it comes to printing than say if you were working with 300 DPI only. Like 300 is like the bare minimum you should have when it comes to printing. Usually 600 or even 1200 is the recommended for printing. Of course, when you're releasing something digitally, it doesn't really matter. So, you know, many people who draw manga and comics don't necessarily even have to bother with this. But yeah, when you're aiming for printing, then numbers really do matter. The bigger, the better. Of course, you will have like enormous file sizes and all that, so you need a good device to work on as well. But when it comes to like prepping for print and just general print quality, you will be happy that you had the bigger resolution. Like I had that issue with some of my old Saigami pages for volume 1, that even though, you know, I had the pages, but I did not have access for the old files anymore. Like, I did not have the old scan files, or I did not have my old Photoshop files and all that. So all I had was some JPEG files of like finished pages, and that was a frigging nightmare. Because the quality wasn't the best, the resolution wasn't the best. So it was like literally I was trying to like do a scanlation process on my own comic, because I did not have the proper original files anymore in high resolution. So yeah, that was a nightmare. And you know, in general, I feel like the printing quality turned out real good for volume 1 of Saigami. But I think you will see just how different it is when I have the proper files when we release volume 2, or heck, even in volume 1. If you look at the newer pages, for example, if you open up the new volume of Saigami and you look at the first few pages of the new story starting, you will see the difference in the quality. It is just crisper, cleaner. It's just a huge difference. Matt, why are you crying? You're a very disappointed doggy next to me. I think he desperately wants to be on my lap, and I just cannot let him. New big boy says Killshot X Haikyuu. Oh yeah, well, that's the dream, you know. Obviously, Haikyuu was a huge inspiration for Killshot, so I don't think I'm surprising anyone there. But also, it's a very different story. So, oh, thank you. The false hero donated $10, loving the stream. Thank you so much.
Emmett, stop.
We have a very naughty dog here. Why are you so upset? You have a whole couch for yourself. Yes, you do. Yeah. He's hogging the whole couch, but he's very upset that he cannot be on my lap. Nabnoob Big Boy says, I want to see it be a reality. Oh, that would be great. It would be really cool. Of course, you know, Haikyuu isn't a running manga anymore, so that would make it a little bit more difficult, but you know, never say never. Oh, there's the anime coming out. I mean, not anime, it's gonna be a movie. Oh my god, that's... I'm not happy about those news. I wanted my Haikyuu anime, not a movie compilation. Emmett! That's not okay.
He's not about the movie, too.
Yes, he's very upset. He wanted to see the Haikyuu 5th season as well. Spider's asking, have you played a new Kirby game? Fun fact, I never played any Kirby games before. It just never happened. Okay, so through my life, as a kid, I never had video games because my mom said that video games aren't for girls, and there was only my sister and me, so we never had any consoles or anything. So it was already by the time I got in high school where I could save up enough money to buy a PlayStation 1 for myself. So I never had an experience with like GameCube or older Nintendo or anything. I only had a PlayStation, and I played the first Pokemon games on an emulator on the PC. I got them on a floppy disk. Let that sink in. And that's how I was able to play games. So a lot of like the classic Nintendo games I just never had a chance to try. For example, I only ever started playing a Zelda game this year, I think. Yeah, that was this year, right? Then I started Ocarina of Time.
I think so. You still need to finish it.
I know. I still haven't finished it, so I'm a fake fan here. I mean, I've been really enjoying it, but yeah, most of the classic Nintendo games, I've been missing out on. So I have a lot of catching up to do. So Kirby is definitely one of them. But first I need to finish up the Zelda games, which is increasingly hard because I usually don't finish games at all. Like it's it's probably part of my ADHD, but I love starting games. I like keep restarting games 100 times and I never finish them ever. so yeah, there's that. But maybe eventually I will try a Kirby game as well. It looks cute. Voice is doggy. Yup, yeah, we have Emmett here, who's a very handsome young man. He's a pug. And then we have his sister somewhere, Nora, who's also a pug. And they are normally very cute, very, very noisy, and very naughty as well. Yeah, they like to be the center of the attention. And right now, Emmett is just very upset that I'm just sitting here and he cannot be on my lap. Nabnoob Big Boy says, do you have a Switch? If not, I suggest you buy one. In my opinion, it's worth it. Yeah, I have a Switch. Favorite console ever, like literally. That's how I play my my Pokemon games, and I've been getting into some games recently. Stardew Valley, yeah. Well, I don't need a Switch for that technically. Like that's a PC game, but yeah, I love just relaxing games like farming sims and stuff. And admittedly, I really got hooked in Stardew Valley. And yeah, most of the time I spent on my Switch, I spent on Stardew Valley in the past couple months, I feel like. In my defense, I was doing really bad health-wise, so there wasn't much for me to do than lay in bed and play Stardew Valley. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I love my Switch and I love playing on it. I just probably will need to branch out with some of the gamings I do because I feel like I always just go back from Stardew, Pokemon, and that's it. And recently I started the new Digimon game too. So yeah, I still need to get back into that. It's just a little bit different than what I expected. Emmett, are you saying hi to everybody? Is that you saying hi? I wish you guys could see him. He's turning his head and he's very cute. But he's also very naughty and he knows it. He's just lucky he's cute. Did I just hear pug? Yep. We love pugs in this house. Maybe in one of the future streams I will set up my camera properly and I can show them to you guys. Because I bet he would love to be on my lap for that. And just show everyone what a cute boy he is. Just adding some shading here and there. Oh.
He just woke himself up.
I'm not sure if you guys could hear that, but that was a cat. We also have cats. Big, fluffy, furry boys. They are huge. Like, they are partially Maine Coons, probably. Because they are the hugest cats. Absolutely huge. Now Big Boy says, yes, I want to see your beautiful pug. Well, I can't show him to you right now, but next time I'm gonna set up my camera so I can show him. And Nora too. Because they are very cute. Yes. It's kind of noisy. Sometimes obnoxious. I'm not even sure if you guys can hear him, but he's just like huffing and puffing right now. Like, not quiet barking, but just sulky enough. I don't need to swap my nib on my pan. So right now I'm working on my XP Pen Artist 13 Pro tablet, and before I got back into drawing on this PC, I got like a new screen protector for it because the old one was like pretty scratchy. I'm very heavy-handed and all, so I really needed a new screen protector for it. And what I got was this textured one, which is really cool because it's really like paper-like. Like, it's not the paper-like. Emmet, hello. That's not okay. So yeah, it has this really cool texture, but Jesus Christ, the nib of my pen is like as if I was drawing on sandpaper. Like, it's crazy how fast my nib is disappearing and like deforming. It's kind of scary. Probably need some more nibs. But it's very satisfying to have the paper-like texture. It's just kind of sad to see the plastic just disappear on me like that. And I think that's like an issue for any kind of screen protector that's like this textured paper-like. Like, I remember reading like a bunch of posts where people were using this paper-like texture for their iPads, and like even the Apple Pencil's tip is like disappearing and it's wearing down so fast. So you really gotta pick your priorities of what you want, the longevity of your nibs or some cool textures when you're drawing. Golden, when is the next line of Saturday M Thanks line? I mean, we have, I think, 11 volumes coming out this year. I think the next one's gonna be M-Vlog coming out this September, along with Yellow Stringer. And then I think either in like October or November we have volume 2 of Hammer and Apple Black coming out, and in December we have the Saturday annual. And then next year Clock Striker comes out in February, and I don't know the rest. I don't think the rest has been announced yet. So yeah, I can't say those yet. I'm pretty sure some might have been announced already, but I'm not sure if the dates were announced just yet. Some newer volumes are up for pre-order already from the upcoming ones. But I think from next year so far we only have Clock Striker available for pre-order. Hiroto Art, what do you think about people who draw lewd lollies? A lot of people hate this kind of drawing, but it's only a drawing, right? Whew. Well, that's a topic. um, well, in general, I am really not into lolly and shota artworks and that kind of genre at all, because I do see its problematic sides. Like, you know, if it's like, if it looks like a dog, walks like a dog, quacks like a dog, it's a dog, right? So I never really liked when, you know, an artist is like, hey, look at this character I drew. She looks like 12, but she's 100 years old actually, so that's okay. You know, that's a dangerous territory there. So yeah, you know, it's like, oh, she said she was 18. That's the same energy. So while I understand that, yeah, fiction doesn't necessarily influences reality, it doesn't mesh with reality necessarily, but at the same time, red flags are red flags for a reason. So yeah. I personally am not involved in stuff like that. Don't really like that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's always problematic, but there are definitely very problematic areas there that are like, yeah. So yeah. You know, not just like the whole like lowly shota loot stuff, pro shipping, all that. That's like such a big topic, and it can be um yeah, quite a lot. And I'm not necessarily here to start a debate or have people come after me for my takes. Everyone has the right to be into whatever they're into. I'm not trying to attack that. I might just not agree with certain people on certain things. So yeah. Navnu Big Boy. Is it pronounced Hemet? It's Emmet, actually. Hold on. Emmet. That's his name. I mean, not the character, the dog. Yeah, so that's our dog, Emmet. We call him a Hemet when he's sleeping on the top of our head, because that's what he also likes to do. He loves to be on our pillows on top of our head, or whenever we're sitting on the couch, he will climb over the top of our head, and then he's a Hemet, all right? But normally he's just Emmet. Coder saying Monument of Apple Black, Saigami, Hammer, Oblivion Rouge, and Titan King are already out. Yep, that's right. You know it better than I do. I am definitely not on the top of my game with the volume releases and all. So yeah, thank you for the clarification. Golden says, can't wait to buy the next books, lol. Well, thank you for your support, and yeah, if you're into Saturday titles, want to support our creators, yes, please get the books, because sadly, sales are what really matters. Getting into stores was just the first half of the whole thing. That's sadly not a victory in its own yet. So everyone's support really means a lot. Nub Noob Big Boy. For some reason, Sano reminds me of Eren, Sasuke, and Sonic for some reason. Sonic is a new one in that list. Like, obviously I've been around since like the very, very first days of Apple Black. I am not even sure how many of you have been following Apple Black and White since like the beginning. Like, when was that even? Like 2008, 9, maybe 2010-ish, I think. Oh my god, it's been so long ago. That's crazy to think about. But yeah, I remember when White first showed up and was showing up Black, and everybody was like, "Oh, he looks like Sasuke." Yeah, and it's so funny because like, you know, he kept going, and eventually Attack on Titan became a thing. Like, Attack on Titan wasn't even a thing back then, and people now are like, "Oh, he looks like Eren." It's so funny. Like, obviously, you know, people will always try to look and compare IP's characters to something else, and it's just so funny when you or something you know gets compared to something that, like, you know that your stuff came before that, yet they are still comparing it to something, and it's just so funny. Sonic is a new one though. I haven't heard that yet. so that's a fun new one, or maybe I just missed out on that one so far. Twitter says if you draw Lola shot art, you're teetering a line you shouldn't teeter. Yep. Yep. Libravic says, and I thought lunch break would be boring. Hey Sunny, well hello, I'm happy to make your lunch break more fun. It's almost dinner time here, so there's that. Gordon says Yellow Stringers comes out in 2 days. Oh, okay. I knew that it was September. I just couldn't remember the dates. Like, I just have to keep so many dates in mind for deadlines and all this stuff that I'm just like, I don't even know where other people's stuff is anymore. Also, Hammer Volume 2 and Ambog. Okay, so yeah. Thank you for the clarification. Big Boy says, I don't remember when I found Apple Black and or Saturday AM. I wish I found it when it first started. Well, I don't think many people were then there when they first started. Like, obviously, Manga magazine, well, slash Ink Blazers was its name back then, was the big thing, the big platform, and I feel like people who were up there knew about it starting, but apart from that, it definitely has a slower start, especially after Ink Blazers shut down and there was literally no big manga platform. Of course, I knew White and like Apple Black and everything from YouTube, like even before Manga Magazine and Ink Blazers, because I don't even know how or when that started. Like, I wish I could remember. Like, I know that I was up on YouTube watching Mark Riley's videos, because back then pretty much he was the only one who was like doing the manga videos. And then of course came the Rumuna Project boys. And it's kind of funny because back then to me it felt like that was like a huge thing. Like, you know, everyone I knew was wanted to do manga was like looking up to them, following them, and like it felt like such a huge thing. And now if I go back to the videos, like they have like a couple thousand views, and it's like, wow, it felt so much bigger back then. But it was, I think, around that time when I first interacted with White. Actually, it might have been through Cartoon Block's drawing contests, because I know we competed in those a couple of times. Like, I know there was a Cartoon Block contest where White won and I was, I think, second place or third place, and there was another competition where I won and White was second or third place. I can't remember what it was anymore, but feels like forever ago. Yeah, it's been a long time. Things have changed a lot, that's for sure. Golden says, I started with Apple Black and Saigami, then I started reading more Saturday AM titles. I feel like most people start with Apple Black. Obviously, White has the biggest audience with his YouTube channel, so most people find Saturday AM and other stuff through him. I feel like it's very rare to hear people that, oh, I actually read Saigami first, or I read Hammer first, or read some other titles first. Most of the time it's always Apple Black. It just makes sense. Librovic says, might have missed it earlier in questions, but have you checked out any Summer of Manga one-shots yet? I have not. I seen the promo artworks for them, but I did not get the chance yet to read them. I definitely wanna, because I really like the new short stories every year, so I definitely will check it out, but I did not have the chance yet. Golden says Hammer Volume 2 actually comes out in October. Okay, so I did remember that something comes out in October or November. Maybe it's Hammer in October and Apple Black in November. But I feel like they should come out at the same time. I don't know. I'm not involved with this. Really, like, I should know this probably, but I do not. That's it. Big Boy says, I think the reason why I see Senna reminding me of Sonic is because of the blue color. They both have their hair looking similar to me, I guess. Okay, yeah. I mean, I can see that with the color and I guess with the hair too. Yeah, I guess I can see it. Still, it's a funny one. All right. I made some alright progress here. And now what is left is like the busy panels. Which sometimes it can be the downside of starting with the easier panels and leaving the harder work for later. But yeah. I felt like these panels would be more interesting to work on than these ones in the stream anyway. Oh, Emmett. Hello. What are you barking at? And also, it's been 2.5 hours now, which is a little bit more than what I was intending to go for here, because I was thinking like maybe I will do a stream from around 3 to 5, but we'll see how things will go. But I'm probably gonna wrap up this stream. I'm happy with the progress I made here, but I definitely will need a couple more hours to finish this page, and I don't think I have the brain capacity for that. I feel like I really need to get back into the groove of like longer streams, because I know when I was in the top of my streaming game I could do like 3-4 hour streams easily, and now I feel like, yeah, I right now need a break. And I really need to find my streaming mojo again. But this was super fun, and I hope you all had a good time with this stream. Okay, we have a last question. Librovic, how do you draw outside the panels on CSP without panel lines still covering it? Okay, let me show you this real quick. I did this real time, but you weren't here, so I'm gonna make the paper disappear for an easier presentation, as well as the panel border, not the panel border, the print guide. So basically what I did was I created this new folder outside of the panels. So this is basically just a folder on top of this panel here. And what I did was, when I was drawing, I lowered the opacity of these panels so it wasn't in the way. I did the inking of the character, and when I had the character ink, I just used the magic wand tool and used an inverse fill to fill up the area underneath the character with white. So now even if the panel border is back, this folder is on top of it, so I have a clean overlay over the panel here. So yep, it's a pretty simple and easy trick. You can just always put things in folders, handle them as your own panel without having to deal with the panel borders. So that's it. Now I can bring everything back actually. Yeah. It's a pretty simple trick. Alright. Okay. I'm always terrible at wrapping up streams, but I thank everyone who joined me today. It was super fun, and thank you very much for being back to the streams with me. As I said in the test stream, we're gonna do this more often. Right now I'm looking to do at least like one stream a week, possibly more, because I have plenty of stuff to work on, so might as well stream it. And of course, new videos are coming on the channel as well. I will have a new video releasing tomorrow, and more streams, more videos. You know the drill. You can find me on social media, Saigami Project, pretty much everywhere. And if you want to support my works, please consider getting my book Saigami Volume 1 in stores, Walmart, online, ebook version. You can find it anywhere where you can find books, as well as I have a Patreon and all that fun stuff. You can find my links in the video description below. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel just yet, then please consider subscribing. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you soon in another stream, another video. Stay safe, keep creating, and keep on making art that makes you happy. Thank you for joining me today.